Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you. Today is March 7th, and it is a good day for me and a very, very stressful day for me. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I've been a little bit distracted. I'm going to do a little bit of a little monologue here. Sniq spawning on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have StarSighted spawning on the top right. For those of you guys who were wondering, like, Crota seems off his game a little bit, seems a little bit distracted, is a little bit more tired than normal. Hopefully that will all pass. Apparently, just the stress of buying a new home and negotiations and all that really gets to you a lot more than I thought it would. Yeah, so yes, becoming an adult, buying tier 3 tech speed run without making calls. All right, so apparently StarSighted is gonna see if Sniq is going to try to go to straight tier 3 without making any ghouls. I don't think that's going to happen, as you do need ghouls at least to harvest lumber, so I would be very surprised if that was the strategy that we saw. But yeah, bought a new home. Yes, an 1,800 square foot home. For some of you guys, that's like, wow, that's so big. And for other of you guys, it's like, wow, that's so small. Yeah, unfortunately, homes are very, very expensive in my neck of the woods. And because of that, you try to do the best you can. Anyways, let's go ahead and come into this game here. It is going to be a Night Elf versus an Undead matchup. No real surprise here, but we are going for a Keeper of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove is coming as a very big surprise, and on top of that, it looks as though there is not an Ancient of War. So that is going to be surprise number 2. This Acolyte really going to be wandering around looking for that Ancient of War and not going to find it. We'll still see whether or not StarSighted is going to be going for perhaps, wait, what is this? Down over here, there is that Tree of Life. He is going for a very, very fast expansion of some sort, and he gets an entangle onto the Acolyte. This is very important. He doesn't want this Tree of Life to be scouted out, and it looks as though it's going to be free 25 experience for that Keeper of the Grove. Now, the Death Knight is already making his rounds all the way across the map here. That Tree of Life is coming across there, and that Tree of Life is going to get scouted by this Death Knight here in just a moment. And I'm surprised if the Death Knight, if he's going to make some sort of crazy play. The Death Knight does spot, oh, a quick detonation. Wow. All right, so Rod of Necromancy only to be detonated immediately, and now this is actually a very, very strange problem for the Death Knight. The Death Knight currently has no way of getting out of this position. All right, does get a Death Coil out, and now he is going to be going toe-to-toe against a Keeper of the Grove as these two buildings are being placed down. All right, the Wisp, oh, able to get there. Nope, not able to get there in time, as the Death Knight could come off with another Death Coil here in just a second, as the Acolyte, as well, not the Acolyte, the Death Knight now giving a little bit of a chase. This is a rather unusual, unorthodox opening. The Keeper of the Grove is not a very good tanking hero, and I can't imagine what exactly StarSighted is trying to do here. StarSighted could come across, try and perhaps get off an entangle on an Acolyte, and perhaps shut down his opponent that way, but you can see that the Cold Tower, the Nerubian Tower, is already up. With one Nerubian Tower already up, and the Death Knight with a very, very strong Death Coil being able to heal up all of his units, I can't imagine this harassment is going to get very far. Let's come back here. We see an Ancient of War. We see the Hunter's Hall. There's the Tree of Life. And you can see a Tree of Life now marching its way down over here as we are going into dual Ancients of War. Alright, so this was a very, very fast Tree of Life into dual Ancients of War. This is not a strategy I normally see, as we now see Sniq is going to be taking a little bit of damage here on this Crypt Fiend. That Crypt Fiend is currently incapacitated, not able to do very much of anything, as you see the Death Knight has come across with the Death Coil, making sure that that Crypt Fiend is staying alive. Alright, this Acolyte, or this Keeper of the Grove is trying to steal some extra experience somewhere and has not been able to do so as of yet, as the Death Knight is going to get closer and closer to level 2. Keeper of the Grove still has plenty of mana though, so the Keeper of the Grove, if it tries and perhaps get some additional experience, it could work out in his favor. but he really needs to play very strong. StarShaped didn't. Oh, StarShaped may have actually. He got up to 73 experience. I'm not sure how he got that 73 experience, but. Or that extra 24 experience, but he did get it there as the Keeper of the Grove now makes its way over. Death Knight now sitting at level 1, getting very close to level 2, and it looks as though that one Null will get taken down. Death Knight picks up, I believe, a Tome of Intelligence. Not 100% sure, but it looked like a Tome of Intelligence as the Death Knight now just getting stronger and stronger. Keeper of the Grove still wandering around. Down over here, Tree of Life will be trying to set up an expansion, and if this expansion does get operational, it will give the Night Elf a very, very strong advantage. Economic advantage here on Echo Isle is very important as long as you're able to capitalize on it. If you try and you're unable to capitalize on it and your opponent is able to stay even with you for far too long because of the limited expansion locations, you end up hurting yourself if you are mining the bases with upkeep. Keeper of the Grove now sitting at level 2 does have a clause of attack +6 under his belt, so to speak, and will be able to do that extra bonus damage. Death Knight now makes its way over as well as we are looking at what a quick wisp. Is that a detonation? And the detonation may have removed all of that essence of blight there as an acolyte still, or not an acolyte, a wisp. Why am I keep on saying acolyte? As another wisp gets taken down here. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Huntresses are now making a quick move around. That is not going to bode well at all as the Troll Trappers will fall. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at level 2, and we should be seeing Ents or Forces of Nature coming out in just a moment. Force of Nature extremely effective against any sort of normal or medium armor damage, medium armor damage buff that we are seeing here. All right, apparently I am still a little bit under the effects of all of my weekly stress. I apologize as we're taking a look at a skeletal minion getting taken down there. So far, we are at Tree of Ages. We could be seeing dual Ancients of Lore in just a moment. That is a lot of Huntresses. And the question is going to really rely on how these Crypt Fiends are going to be positioned. If they are positioned in such a way so that the Huntresses cannot get a good surround, while the Fiends themselves are able to get a lot of piercing damage, then it is going to be a definite win for the Undead. Meanwhile, though, the Night Elf player trying to play it extremely safe, dancing around back and forth, but this undead base seems so fortified that it seems almost near impossible to try to get back in. The Huntress down to 291 hit points will be forced to back off again as we see how much damage that piercing damage deals over time. Crypt Fiends now being brought in from the north. Death Knight now making its rounds across the map once again. Huntress is now shooting across the map as well. We can see that there is an Ancient of War currently uprooting itself, as we can see that the Tree of Life is already entangling this gold mine. StarShaped has an economic advantage and is looking to continue to build off of this, sitting at 43 over 50 supply. As long as StarShaped can get to 50 supply and then start building a very strong bank, he could try and pick up some items from the marketplace. Some very, very nice items could tip things in favor, but however, we can see that the Undead, level 3 on the Death Knight, and a level 1 on the Lich getting very close to level 2. If the Death Knight actually backed off, it would have gotten to level 2. Instead, it is going to be a little bit shy, I believe. Yeah, oh well, right on the, almost on the money. 5 experience over, was able to get to level 2 without a problem there. Alright. Priestess of the Moon is the second hero coming in from StarShaped. So this is very old school Reign of Chaos. Keeper of the Grove with that Entangle can shut down a single unit for a rather long time as long as it isn't a hero. Meanwhile, StarShaped picking up True Shot Aura on the Priestess of the Moon, and that Priestess of the Moon could deal, in fact, a lot of damage over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Acolytes making their way down, 44 over 50 supply for the Undead, 61 over 70 for StarShaped. StarShaped may try to strike while the iron is hot, so to speak, and really just press his advantage even further. Alright, Ogre Mauler gonna get surrounded here and get taken down. It looks as though it will get taken down very, very quickly. There it goes. You can see another Ogre Mauler joining in on the fight. Meanwhile, the Force of Natures are just tearing through many of these units. And Atoma's Strength also being added as well, in addition to, what item was it? Wand of Illusion. Not altogether that useful, but level 3 on the Keeper and almost level 3 on the Priestess means level 2 True Shot Aura, which could mean a substantial damage bonus for all of the units of the Night Elf player. Alright, 49 over 60 supply for the Undead. Meanwhile, 69 over 70 as the Night Elf now looking to just charge on in and finish the job. This could be extremely good news for a StarShaped, as StarShaped has caught his opponent pretty much without any sort of serious base defense. There, are we going to see an Entangle? No Entangle, as the Archer now backs off once more. The Lich does have level 2 Frost Nova, but still not going to be enough, as all the units are now once again looking to engage. Archers are now coming back over here. An Ent is now down over here as well. It could be devoured magic pretty easily. And this 70 supply of StarShape versus the 50 supply of Sniq. This was a very, very fast tech to 70 supply by StarShape, which is giving him all the advantage he needs right now. Alright, one low hit point Huntress finally gets taken down, but there are a lot more low hit point units here. The Ogre Mauler needed to get off a Breath of Fire across all of those units, was not able to do so, as we now see a Frost Nova onto another unit here. Alright, so far that Lich has not gotten a Frost Nova off on the Death Knight yet. Meanwhile, all those units are going to be forced to roll back out here in just a second, as we're looking at the Death Knight now just trying to run around in circles. What the Lich, still sitting at level 3, doing a great job, is going to pull back and continue to offer protection, getting those Frost Novas off onto the Night Elf units. Alright, Death Knight sitting at level 4, Lich sitting at level 3. Meanwhile, it is Keeper of the Grove and Priestess of the Moon. This almost feels like old school Reign of Chaos days, as the Lich once again gets saved. Lich gets saved once more, and we are still looking to see what is next going to be happening. Skeletal Minions now taking down the Lich down to, I believe, 50 mana and 575 hit points. Will be able to fold back here and then perhaps draw a new line in the sand. So far, the Death Knight and the Lich now making their way over. You can also see Acolytes are down over here trying to shoot down the Haunted Gold Mine. There's the Dust of Appearance, as the Huntress now going to be suffering a lot of damage. Is it going to go? Yes, it will. And that is going to feed even more experience to both the Death Knight and the Lich. Alright, StarShaped now rolling on out with these units. It looks as though the Lich may end up getting taken down, and yes, it does. There is the GG. Game 1 going to the Game 1 going to StarShaped. StarShaped playing extremely well. Please stay tuned for Game 2.